Enjoying my
Thank you to Lifeway for helping me, helping my family, and helping the 100 people now in our team who are using Lifeway daily and their families. Big, big thank you. Love the products.
and I have energy through the roof.
I sleep better. I have so much more energy.
Throughout the day, I can focus better. I can concentrate in my work.
Our church worship service lasts 45 minutes. For the last 2 years, I've not been able to stand that long. 2.5 weeks into wearing the X39 patch, the pastor said, "You can now be seated." It dawned on me at that moment that, my goodness, I've been standing this whole time, didn't realize it.
After starting using the technology for approximately 2 weeks, my pain completely disappeared.
32 years of pain gone in 3 days.
I just love the products. They just help me to feel younger and younger year after year.
Thank God for X39.
My skin become younger, softer, firmer.
It's been really, really, really amazing.
I love X39 because it really helped reduce the inflammation in my knee. I can now run again. Woohoo!
Good evening. Can you hear me, everyone? Hello. Hello, everyone, and welcome. Welcome to our Tuesday evening testimonial call. And my name is Michelle Niels, and I am filling in for Robin Blanc-Mascari, who is in Italy right now with Gregory on an SPD trip. So hello and welcome. It's great to see all of you. The purpose of tonight's call is to share testimonials and then to welcome our practitioner. And tonight we have Dr. Henriette. So I'm looking forward to getting to know her a little bit tonight and having all of you ask some great questions. So we're going to start with our testimonials, and I'm hoping we get some hands up. We are going to spend, about 45 minutes on this call tonight. And the first half will be testimonials. And let's start with X39 testimonials, if you would please do that for the first few, and then we can move on to the other patches, kind of like our format for the Monday morning chat. So, so welcome everyone. And just a couple of little comments about your shares. And I share this on the Monday morning. Be bold, be brave, be brief, and be compliant. So if you have a story to share, please be bold, because your story may help someone else. And that is what we're all about. We're here to help people, uplift people, bring joy into people's lives. And and be compliant. So let's just use symptoms only. Same with the questions that you're going to put in the chat when you have a question for Dr. Henriette. And by the way, I'm going to be looking at the chat later, like when Dr. Henriette comes on. So if you have a question for her, please wait. Don't put it in now, because it's going to get lost in the chat. So wait until we get to that portion of the call. Okay, so we're going to start off with none other than our lovely lady from Florida, Heidi Noel Miller. Go ahead and unmute, Heidi, and let's have your testimonial.
Thank you so much, Michelle Joy Niels. I got to meet you intimately in Orlando, and I'm in 10 miles from Orlando. My story is about my first experience. I'm a one sticker. I call it a sticker the day that I wore it. I'm a 53. I'll be 53 in a few weeks. And I started wearing the patch about X39 18 months ago. And the first night that I wore it, I didn't know I was supposed to wear it during the day. I watched Jeffrey Hubbard. I wore it at night, and I had a childhood nightmare, and I had always woken up between 3 and 3:30 every single night of my life. I have not had that childhood nightmare, and I love X39 because of it.
Beautiful. That's great. Bold and just a wonderful story, Heidi. Thank you. I never get tired of hearing that story. Thank you so much. And now we have Shannon, and then let's get some more hands up. You guys, let's get some wonderful testimonials rolling here. Okay, Shannon, go ahead. Hi.
Hello, Michelle. It's great to see you hosting the call
too.
tonight. So my story goes back about 2.5 years ago when I received a call from one of my very good friends named Michelle Niels from Fort Collins. And she said, Shannon, you've got to try this incredible technology. And since I trust you and I've known you for so many years, I said, all right, let's do it, Michelle. 30 days. And within that time frame, I had expectations and hopes, but I didn't realize how great these patches, the X39 was really going to be for my low back, but also into my knees and my neck, and the decrease of inflammation and swelling was absolutely amazing. So I had been practicing massage therapy for nearly 3 decades. And now I'm able to say, I'm not going to work that hard. I'm just going to simply patch people up and send them on their way. And the results are fantastic. So I've been enjoying LifeWave and the patches ever since. So thank you so much, Michelle. And I'm so glad.
We love your energy, enthusiasm, and passion, Shannon. Thank you. I'm so happy you're on my team, my friend.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing. All right, we have Miss Helen. Go ahead and unmute, Helen.
Okay, hey. It's Tim's finger over there. He's admitting people. So anyways, some of you may have heard we have a fish. This is the fish story, right?
Yay, we love fish stories.
The fish is still alive. It was May 22nd that I posted it in Vibrant Living, that, just sharing the story that this fish, it was just fell down. I just watched it. It was having trouble swimming and it fell to the bottom of the tank. So then I go to get the net and it just swims away. So then we're looking and it's up top, sort of struggling. Then it turned into a sea and fell to the bottom and it stayed. Well, I put an X39 right there. And then that went on for 2 days. I put an X39 on another location, Anyways, it was pretty cool. He's alive. He or she is alive, swimming with its tribe right now. It's an update. Look at it. It's already
It's an update.
The end of August. And this was May 22nd.
This was May. And so, Helen, just to be clear, you would move the patch around the tank wherever the fish was kind of hovering.
I added another one. Yeah.
Oh, you put another one.
Yep, I did. I splurged.
I love your fish story. Thank you.
Oh my gosh.
You're welcome.
Gosh. Okay, Ravel. Yay, come on, Ravel. What would you like to share?
Michelle, thank you so much for hosting and taking over for Robin, who's away, and hosting Dr. Alban tonight. We're really looking forward to hearing it. Just really quickly, a couple of quick ones. There was a woman in Florida, well, she's still there, and her elimination was improved dramatically through the use of X39 within the first couple of weeks, which is really exciting to hear. Another individual who's on this call has been a trucker for over 40 years, could be 45 years, and developed really severe back pain and had a very bad accident. And it took him a while. I think it was even over 2 months directly on X39. He did introduce another patch, which we wouldn't expect. Sorry to mention that. So
no, that's okay. We can do that now.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah.
It was in fact X49, and he got relief. I think the last time I spoke to him, it was 4 days straight of relief. So I'm extremely happy to hear that. Thanks, Michelle.
Thank you, Ravel. Thank you. All right, we have Jerry. Come on, Jerry. Oh, and your dad is here.
I had to bring him on. This is my 96-year-old father, young father. And he's been on the patches for 18 months, has had marvelous results. And when I was listening in yesterday, he was listening too, and somebody had mentioned about the ringing in their ears is gone. His is gone. So he has had results like, I can't even begin to tell you. He is so, he heard the things yesterday morning. He just saying, wow, wow, wow. So X39 is just amazing. And then I'll throw in this one, since you have so many viewers, just telling you guys, imagine if you are, in your 50s, 60s, 70s, but you drop something on the floor and you look like you're about 90, 95, trying to get down and trying to get up and grasping yourself up. Well, I've been on the patches for a while, and that was my long result. Some people are one patch miracles, and that's great too. But I now can actually crawl on my knees. I was in the attic. I was painting my baseboard. So Yay for the patches and X39. And Michelle, you look lovely yesterday and today. Thank you for hosting.
Thank you, Jerry. Thank you so much. Well, beautiful. And hello, what's your dad's name?
Whoops, I'll bring him back on. Hold on.
We can see you. What's
there? Okay. Oops. Okay. There's my dad. He's Ed Duda.
Hi, Ed. Hey, we're so happy you're here. And you have a wonderful daughter that's getting you all patched up and getting younger every day.
Thanks, Michelle.
Hi. Okay. Bye-bye, Jerry. and
Bye.
Ed. Okay, we have Christina and then Mikey. Awesome. Christina, go ahead and unmute.
Hello, how are you tonight?
Great. How are you?
Good, doing well. I thought I would share my mom's story. She's been on patches for about 2 years. I started out with X39 and carnosine because she had some heart issues. And we took her in, I think probably June, to her cardiologist. And he checked her over and he said that her blood pressure was better than his. He said that she heals like she's 18. And he said her leaky valve no longer needed surgery. And he said, what are you doing? And we told him. And he said, and we added X49 when it came out because I knew it was good for that as well. And he asked us what we're doing. We told him. He said, I'm putting my mom on those patches.
Your doctor said that. Your mom's doctor.
Cardiologist.
That is beautiful. Beautiful. And that was just the X39 with your mom?
X39 carnosine in the beginning.
Mm-hmm. Wonderful, beautiful share. Oh, thank you, Christina.
You're welcome.
Okay. All right, we have Mikey now. Go ahead and
hello.
unmute.
I hope I'm unmuted now.
I can hear you. Yes, go ahead.
Okay, I called in 2-3 weeks ago about my dad who'd been in the hospital, and I put him on the patch while he's in there because, well, I was worried about him. His arm was aching within, I mean, bad enough where he wanted to take his life, he said. And within 2 days of being on the patch, his arm was not hurting anymore. His restless leg syndrome had gone away. I mean, I don't want his jumpy leg syndrome, I guess. Sorry. He wasn't diagnosed with it, but that's what it kicks like crazy. But what's a fun story is just recently my mom called me and they checked his blood sugar because he had a blood disease that wiped out his pancreas. So now he has to take insulin. And every morning when they check his blood, he's usually right around 180, 190. And she said his blood sugar had gone down to 97. Nothing different. It's from 130 to high 90s now.
That's incredible. That's one of those believe it or not stories that we say a miracle, but we have science to back it, right, Mikey? Oh, good for you and helping your mom. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for sharing. All right, we have Sunshower.
Good evening, everybody. Michelle, you're doing such a great job being a host here for us tonight on the Health Practitioners Call. Thank you for your efforts and being here for all of us.
Thank you, Sunshower.
You bet. So I've been around the LifeWave block about, going on 3 years now, and I have a ton of stories. Since nobody else has their hand up, I just thought I'd say a couple of them. Let's see, the first one happened within 2 days. A pain that I had in my lower, just under my rib cage for 17 years that nobody could figure out how in the world to make this thing get better. That went away in the second day of wearing the X39, and I put it right on where it hurt. That's what my homeopath, who's my sponsor, told me to do, and I didn't know any better, so I just put it there. So that's a really quick story. I've got a lot in between, lymph nodes going down, the lymph nodes that get kind of swollen in here, went down in 20 minutes, X39. Let's see, I've got so many. My floaters in my eyes are gone. My ophthalmologist is always saying, well, I keep thinking you're gonna need, you know, that surgery for the filmy eyes, you know, when you
Filmy
get
eye,
to
yep. Mhm.
about my age. And and he goes, nope, don't need to, that you're doing so good. I also had what my doctor was calling barnacles. You know, they're like age spots or something. They're kind of thick and crusty on my leg right here. And that has taken a while, maybe a year and a half, and they're almost gone now. They're almost colorless. They're certainly not raised at all. And then my most famous story that took 2 years to happen, drum roll here, please. I was born without, I was born without my olfactory sense. So I couldn't smell a thing my whole life and never expected to. But one day, about a year ago, I was out weeding in my backyard and I had 2 different weeds going into my little bag over here. And when they passed in front of my nose, I go, huh, this weed smells different than this weed. Wait, what? So now I can smell. I'm telling you, you don't really know where X39 has gone to work. We're told it goes where it's most life-threatening. And that wasn't a life-threatening thing, but it sure was kind of a bummer not being able to smell my whole life.
Whole life. Wow. Wow. I love that share. Yes. Thank you, Sunshower. I'm going to share one quick one before I bring Dr. Henriette on.
Sure.
So I slammed my thumb in a sliding glass door. And within minutes, I had a really bad bruise. And a friend of mine said, you're going to lose that nail. And she said, you could try poking it with like a hot pin or something. I thought that sounds like, you know, barbaric. I think I'll just put an X39. So I did do ice wave and ice. I did actually put ice on it. It was pretty painful for a few days. And this is my thumb. I don't know if you can see here, but it is perfectly fine. And I actually have a friend who did the same thing, but it was a car door. And her thumbnail is a mess. Like she completely lost it. I never lost the nail. It was a little funky for about a month and I never lost the nail. And it was bad. It was deep. So that was X39. Yay. Oh, we have another share. Okay, CJ, and then we'll go over to Dr. Henriette. Okay.
Hey, so quick story. Last year, I like to do arts and crafts and paint things at my house and backyard. It was summertime. I was moving a little cast iron pergola around. I was going to paint it. Moved it around, no action. Went in the house, came back out, moved it, stuck my, oh, I need to take this plate out of the bottom, stuck my hand in it. I didn't know there was a yellow jacket wasp in the top of it. And they got me, and they got me bad. And I screamed. Nobody was home. I ran in the house going, what to do, what to do, what to do. And so I'm like, I got patches, I got patches. So I washed it down. I didn't know how many times I was stung. And I used Ice Wave, I used Eon, and I used X39. And all of them together helped me. Luckily, I didn't have a major allergic reaction, but using those patches was a godsend that day for me. And so very, very grateful for something like that, to have a tool in the house to help a little accident that, you know, I got hit 7 times by yellow jackets.
Nasty. Not just a tool in the house, CJ, but, you know, keep, as Robin says, let's keep the patches on us, like a first aid kit in your purse, right? If you're out and about and, you know, something happens or you can help someone else, it's great to have the patches, at least a few of them on you.
Yes, ma'am.
Yay. Well, what a wonderful share. Thank you, CJ.
Thank you.
Thank you. And Heidi, did you want to share one more? You said something, I saw something about Alavida.
Oh yeah, I can add. So I always just think about X39 and not having nightmares. But what's interesting is after adding Alavida, after wearing X39 during the day, finding out I was supposed to be wearing it during the day, and then adding Alavida, by the 6th month, I was actually having dreams, like really good dreams.
Oh, that's with Alavida.
Yeah, I added a nighttime patch called Alavida. So
wonderful. On the third eye, Heidi?
I actually always wore it right here.
Oh, wait, you're not showing up. I think maybe because you didn't have your hand up. So
Oh,
you're not showing up. There you are. There you are. We got you.
okay. Yeah, right here is where I would wear my Alavita. But actually when I started wearing Alavita, I had put it in the same spot so that the sticker residue on the adhesive would be in the same spot. And I started wearing it on my neck, and then I moved it to my middle of my forehead, which I think you called the third eye.
The third eye point right there.
Yeah. I added it there because then I started stacking 2 other patches.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much, everyone. Those were wonderful shares, and everyone was compliant. Nobody named disease states. So I'm going to ask Dr. Henriette to come on now. She is our practitioner for this evening, and she is a naturopathic physician from Reading, Pennsylvania. She's been in practice for like 26 years, I think we were saying, Dr. Henriette. Yeah.
I stopped counting.
Yes, many years. And she's been using the patches for a few years now, 2.5 or so, right?
Yeah.
And so, yes, tell us, Dr. Henriette, what was it about these patches and LifeWave that just touched your heart, that sparked you, that wanted you to, that caused you to want to jump right in and share with everyone, including your patients?
Well, I'd be happy to share that. It's an easy one. Dr. Tom Acklin introduced me to it, and I couldn't get the hang of the patches and putting what where, and how come I had not heard of this? Well, he asked the same question. How do we not know? We're like everywhere, in the industry, when something new comes on. I had no idea that this existed. And so, of course, we were very curious about how it all worked. And I went ahead and I looked at the science on the website, and it's very compelling. The way David Schmidt has this set up is that it shores up a lot of confidence in the tests that were done, in the research that was done, in the logic behind it, and his incredible generosity of always working with other substances that could create certain disease states healing, right? Or balancing. And it's not just patches. He gives that holistic viewpoint. And I found that actually extremely impressive. And he uses some things that not everybody will come up with, which I love, of course. So to me, it was a no-brainer after that.
I love that, and I agree with you. The fact that David will bring in other things, he's so holistically minded.
Yeah.
Whether it's supplements or making sure you're doing proper exercise or fasting, or he says the patches are wonderful, and you have to do your other work as well, right?
And one of the more important things in this, because I omitted that last time, is hydration.
Oh, yes.
The body is electric. And in order for conductivity to be present, we need to be hydrated. We need water to conduct the electricity along our nervous system. So it's very, very important.
Very important. And how much water would you say, Dr. Henry? I've heard different amounts. What do you tell people?
What I tell people, and have been for years, is pay attention to your body. Pay attention to when you're thirsty. It's almost too late. Of course, you catch up. However, having said that, the body takes probably 3 to 6 months to get fully hydrated. Now, that may be something not everybody agrees with, but that is what I've noticed. So half your body weight in fluid ounces. So let's just say you weigh 140 pounds. That's 70 ounces. So it's a little over a half a gallon. And sometimes people drink too much, right? And that's not a good idea. So stick with that, work your way up to that. I find that most people, when you give them that amount, they say, oh, I drink a lot of water. And it's not even half a gallon. It's not even what they need. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
What people think is a lot of water, because in my work as a healing practitioner, I will ask my clients how much water. Oh, I drink a lot of water. And then I ask them how much. They say, oh, one of those. And I show my LifeWave bottle, which is about 20 ounces. And they say, oh, I drink 1 or 2 of those a day. Like, oh, no, you need a lot more. And then another good way to tell if you're getting a good amount, Dr. Henriette, I've heard is like looking at the color of the urine, right? If it's totally clear like water, then you might be drinking too much water. Is that true?
Well, actually, that's something that came up in my last call as well. Generally, if you have a normal 24-hour schedule in that you sleep at night and you're not third shift or all that, your urine should be pretty clear by 11 in the morning. And what I recommend about hydration anyway is that people drink a lot of water to get started. So what I often recommend is lemon water first thing, before you have coffee, before you have tea. Just give your body a flush out from the night's cleansing and let the kidneys basically, get it out. And so by that time, if you keep drinking by 11, it should be clear.
It should be clear.
Yeah.
Okay, wonderful. So is there anything that you would like to share that maybe you haven't had a chance to share on these Tuesday evening testimonial calls? Is there something that you would get off a call and say, I wish I could have shared? So before we open up for questions?
Well, I'm actually going to share a story that happened last week, the week before, in that a colleague of ours got stung. We were helping on a farm with produce, and he got stung by a wasp right here in the back of his neck. And he was on a medication, and that said it is possible that you get increased allergic reactions to whatever. He'd stung many times before, he did not get anything. But this time he was like ready to go into anaphylactic shock. So I drove him to first of all, I put 2 glutathiones on, one here, one on the sting, and Aeon on the back, and I didn't have X39 handy. So these are the ones I had. And took them with me, what I had. And we went to the emergency room. It was too early in the morning. They weren't open yet. This is a disaster. Then we finally came to one that was open. And walking in there, the doctor took their own sweet time to come, and eventually he felt better. Okay, so I said, well, maybe we don't have to do anything here. Me always angling for the patches work.
Yes.
And he actually got a whole lot better. Now, he was concerned that insurance would not pay for this visit because he had been registered if he didn't get 1, 2, 3 different shots and pills and whatnot.
Right.
So he had no problem anymore from the bee sting, none whatsoever. By the time the doctor came around, he was okay. But when I questioned her in terms of, I'm kind of mouthy. So I said, well, why does he need it now? He doesn't have reaction anymore. She said, well, this is my path.
This is my territory, right?
That's right. This is where that's what medicine recommends. So that's where it went.
Oh, right. Well, that might have averted a disaster, as you said, Dr. Henriette.
Yeah.
If
it's
that
the
man,
patches. Yeah.
Eon and glutathione for stings. That's good to know, especially.
And actually, I use it all the time. I got stung by a wasp 3 days ago down here, and it's gently swelling. It's moving. On me, the stings always move. But I had glutathione. I iced it too, with the glutathione, and then more glutathione, and I just keep following it.
Did you move the patch up?
I different patches every 12 hours. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Wonderful. Yes. Thank you. Thank you for that share.
You're welcome.
All right. Well, I'm looking at the chat now, and let's see. Let's see. Okay. Sue Ann says, I have a slow heart rate and a pacemaker is recommended. Which patches and where do you recommend they be placed?
Is the pacemaker in already?
And a pacemaker is recommended.
Energy enhancer, carnosine, X49. So energy enhancer, bottom of your feet, start there. Otherwise, you could also put it on lung 1 over here, which is that little it's like in between your shoulders and your ribs. That's lung 1. Put the energy enhancer there. The Aeon over the heart. You could put the Aeon right here.
Okay.
And the carnosine, I actually have this right here. I have myself. The carnosine on the conception vessel, so that'd be in the chant, or on the back of the neck, the carnosine. here is the thing that I have with the patches that we run into on these calls, and that is, this is a recommendation. Ultimately, you are the most important knower of your own body. So learning to see where the patches work for you would be great. So if somehow one doesn't work in that way, put it someplace else. And how David often recommends that we take the patches through all the points, right? That when we have multiple point suggestions to take them through, that we take them through all the points.
Wow, that is really good to know. I've been using the patches for 4 years and I don't think I've even done that. So it's a good idea to, like, for example, glutathione goes on the top of the right foot or
Yeah.
here, or
Yeah,
go
it could
through
go,
the-
it could go below your belly button. It could be right here in your throat. It's on the right toe, first bit for the first and second digit. It's obviously long 9, right? Yeah, under the
Yes.
thumb. And then the spleen inside of the right foot, the right ankle. Yes, actually, you know, we know that all the patches can be put everywhere.
Yes, they can be
So
placed.
it's a skin's nervous system. It's the electric impulses. So sometimes they work better in certain places than others. And that is why we have a de facto basic places to put it.
Yes.
You know, that's what's recommended. And the reason that is that way is because those were the specific spots that were tested.
That were tested, right?
Yeah, so heart rate variability and some of the other tests that they did in terms of function.
Okay, very good. Thank you. All right, so the next question, what patch would you recommend for a young adult that has had a red skin breakout on her face?
Okay, this is one of the questions you and I just talked about. It's like a red skin. Okay.
Red skin breakout.
I am assuming it has
It's a rash.
some
I would think
raised.
a rash is not a diagnosis, but
No,
a
right.
rash of some kind. Okay.
Well, I mean, I would definitely start with X39, and then for any kind of inflammatory response, use AON. And if you're not shy, AON could go right here. If the rash is not painful, just not attractive, the AON could go next to it. I don't know that I would put it on top of it, but next to it. And again, you know, play with it, see what happens. Ice wave, if it's painful.
Is
Yeah.
it possibly, Dr. Henriette, is it possibly a some type of a detox type of reaction? I guess we don't
That
know.
depends. It could be.
Could
It could be. That's with these rashes. Rashes, the skin is the largest eliminatory organ of the body, right? And so anything that starts coming through the skin is a form of detox, the body rejecting something.
Yes.
And depends how toxic we are, you know. And if it's, for example, these skin eruptions that we sometimes have in puberty or when hormone household is not settled, when people are going through transition, like lots of older people get this suddenly. It's a good idea to just stick with the X39 and keep the X39 going, because like you said before, the body has its own healing mechanism and it knows best where to put things. So.
Yes, thank you. Okay.
You're welcome.
Good, very good. So someone asked in the chat about carrying patches without them working on you if you're carrying them around in your purse or something. So yes, Dr. Henriette is showing a special, I wonder if I have mine. Yeah, I have mine right here too.
Exactly.
It's
These are
foil lined, right?
I have one side, this side of it goes in the freezer.
Oh, wow.
So
you keep your patches.
It's not, yes, I have my patches. I have all my patches.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
The thing is that, I mean, listening to others who live in hot climates, they do say once it gets above 100, I put them in the fridge.
In the fridge.
Yeah, considering that the body's temperature generally is between 97 and 98 or 96 and 97, we're pretty close. I mean, yes, gets activated, but it's really not that big a deal.
Right. And if someone doesn't have a pouch like that, you can also use aluminum foil or like that aluminum bubble wrap that sometimes comes with things that you get in the mail. Okay, so here's a question from Rose. I can't say your last name. Good morning, Doc, from the Philippines. My friend had a motorcycle accident 2 years ago. As a result, now she suffered at times memory gap and some pain from her waist down to her legs. When it was painful, she cried a lot. What patches can we suggest? A motorcycle
I would
accident.
put ice wave on the 2 points below her waist in the back that hurt, and then an Aeon at where it radiates out. Right. So I mean, if you have the waist with the 2 legs, you would put wherever the pain is from the motorcycle accident in the back, and then where it radiates out, put an Aeon there. Always the X39 on the C7 behind the neck, which is really seems to be this all-encompassing energy flow that it actually offers. It's almost like, I'm going to sound corny now, but it almost like the hand of God on the back of your neck to keep you safe. I sometimes see the X39 like that spiritual shield, you know.
Yes, a spiritual shield.
Yes, and the others are add-ons, and that really help with the localization of it. Then the other thing too, the energy enhancer on the bottom of the feet, because you want to get the microcirculation going. Very often in pain, there is a blockage of blood in different channels, and the microcirculation is the tiny capillaries that need to get flooded. So people can actually experience healing, because blood takes away debris and blood brings nutrients. And in a case like this, it'd be super important to keep drinking.
Yes, definitely keep the water going.
Yeah.
Yes, and sipping all day, right? And not gulping in all in one.
and not, please don't drink with your meals.
Yes, yes.
It's incredible. Yeah.
And also don't drink ice water with your meals, right?
Don't drink ice water, period.
Period, okay.
I know people don't like that, to hear that in the winter.
They don't like to hear that, right?
In the summer, no.
Okay, Kelly Brockmeyer says, this is another pain question. I know someone who had knee replacement 3 months ago. It got botched up and she's in a lot of pain.
Wow.
Which patches could help?
Okay, I'm looking at this. It depends how it got botched, but how we usually look at the knees is that depending on where the most pain is, you put ice wave, and then we usually have an Aeon between the 2, either on the patella, which is the kneecap, thank you, or in the back. This is a case where you have to try different positions. Sometimes people who are on pain medication do not respond to ice wave as easily as they would if they were not, because it's kind of, according to David, it's using the same pathways as an opioid, as a, you know, whatever they're called.
Yes, opioids.
Yeah, and essentially, and the same thing with scar tissue. We know that X39 handles that over time. Yeah.
Good.
And that could actually be put right onto where that is.
Where the scar is?
Yes, because it's dead tissue. It needs reviving. The other thing that could go there is energy enhancer, right next to each other.
One on either side of the scar? Okay.
Yeah.
I was just going to ask the rest of her question and you got that. Okay.
I just saw it because I saw
Good,
Kelly's question earlier.
Okay. And Michaeline Champion says, Dr. Henriette, my sister was diagnosed today with an autoimmune disorder that she is experiencing severe pain and swelling that could eventually lead to organ damage. I've patched her once before, but she didn't notice a difference. How would you patch for that?
Continue patching X39 and never mind, you don't notice the decision, that you don't notice the difference.
Right.
When the body is so sensitized with or preoccupied with an intensity of injury or pain or even emotional trauma, our sensitivity level is just really gone down.
It's gone
So
down,
keep
yes.
doing it. Let the body do its thing. Just trust that it's working. It's not hurting anything at all. You can't do it wrong, you know, and some things take longer than others. We know from so many stories, and you do the miracle calls on a Monday. I mean, it's tremendous. You have the best lexicon of stories anyone has. I mean, you know, 2 years, 3 years, and now look what's changed.
Exactly.
You know, 8 months, you know, give it time.
Give it time.
Yes.
Right.
Especially when
I've
the injuries are severe.
Yes, I've started to say to people, give it 3 months minimum and more like 6. And I said, and even then, there's going to be some things that, you know, are not going to change. You might need 18 months or 2 years. And, you know, trusting this technology is doing exactly what it needs to be doing in our
The
body.
thing that I love that you just said that, Michelle, because essentially we have a life, even when we're wearing the patches, even when we're in our 60s and 70s, we have a life that is being lived, and there is wear and tear during that life too. So when you consider, it's not like we're stopping here and putting the X39 on and wait another year or two to find if it works. It's we have a life in between, you know, so sometimes it just takes a little longer.
Thank
Just
you.
trust it. It works. We know it works. Trust
Yeah,
it.
Trust it. Trust. We know David and we trust David. So keep it up. All right. We have, let's see. My name is Wendy, and I'm dealing with a condition in which my skin has too much collagen. My skin is fibrotic, thick, hard, tight, calloused, painful. My doctor is giving me steroid injections to help break down this scar tissue. I'm on a very high strength urea cream to exfoliate. Also, I am unable to take vitamins A, B, C because they increase the collagen. My question is, what will X39 do to my skin?
We would love to hear from you. We would really, I mean, that is something I would love to hear. Okay, the superproduction or overproduction of skin tissue, whether it's internally in terms of fibroids, which usually have another cause, but is the thick, hard, tight, calloused, that is basic. It's almost like something is covering you up, you know. So then we get this scaly skin and all that. I would love to hear and love to see you try X39, and I would put it, let's see, what else would you do? You would do energy enhancer as well. And I would put the energy enhancer on either side of where that causes, where my condition, my skin has too much. Depends, where do you have that? Is it everywhere?
I know, I get the feeling it might be everywhere, but I don't know where she.
Well, it will not be everywhere the same, and it increases nowhere. Okay. Yeah.
And she says because X39 increases collagen, she doesn't need more, so she's concerned. And what you're saying, Dr. Henriette, is not to worry that it's going to.
Well, so here's the thing. This is a very specific, situation. I would, you know, some things get worse before they get better. So let's just say in this case, if you have a condition that internally somehow creates that increase of collagen, the increase of skin production, the increase of tissue, could it be, and I'm speculating, so don't take my word for it, but could it be that in order for it to heal, the X39 will actually speed up an expulsion of that causative factor, which at first might make it worse and then heal it? We have this with other things. It gets worse before it gets better. And we all know about healing crisis or Herxheimer effects, that you can have flu-like symptoms, you can have digestive issues. That's not the case with you here, but there's quite obviously something internally that is overproductive. Could it be that the X39, it can produce more collagen, but it's not always the case, you know? So try it, please try it, and come back on the call.
And come back and let us know, right?
Yes, please.
She did say, Dr. Henriette, it's on her face, neck, and chest. That's where the hypertrophy, you know, the hypertrophied.
An emotional question to ask is, why do I need a harness or a shield?
A shield, yes.
Because it's both hiding and protective, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
that's important to look at the
I'll put my
your contact information.
yeah, I'm right here.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we were about 43 minutes after. Can we go maybe another 5 minutes, Dr. Henriette?
Do we have a whole lot more questions?
We have a lot more,
Oh
more.
boy.
but-
All right. Well, let's see how long we can go
Let's
then.
see if we can answer a few more. I want to say, Regina, you put a diagnosis there. I feel for you, and because I'm a nurse, I know what you're asking. So I'm going to go ahead and ask this because this is a horrible condition. My
Okay.
husband has, and she names a disease, and it's where there's an incredible pain in the face. It's one of the cranial nerves, and it causes incredible pain. Where so bad that some people have even taken their lives. Do you know what I'm referring to? It starts with a T. That the cranial nerve is a T. Starts with a T. Do you know that one, Dr. Henriette?
Yeah, I'm thinking.
Incredible pain in the face.
Yeah. It's neuralgic, so it's definitely nervous system and brain.
Yes.
So
Mhm.
Aeon for sure.
Okay.
Aeon for absolutely sure. Ice wave. Cranial nerves. Ice wave. It could be on either side on the temples.
Mhm.
Could also be back of the base. Above, I mean, basically where your skull ends and your vertebrae, your vertebrae is in the skull, and the other one on the third eye. So that groove in the back, do you feel that?
The groove, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Put it right there and put the
Base
other
of the
one on
skull.
the third eye between the eyebrows.
And which patch is that again?
The ice wave or
Ice
the
wave.
yeah.
Ice
So
wave.
either here or here.
Or here.
And then try moving them around.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then definitely the Aeon could be on top. And I wonder if the hat protocol would work too, because that's very
Oh.
similar, right?
Yes.
So
Yes.
because we have hair, it might not be so comfortable. Oh my goodness, the hat protocol. I have not used it in ages. Do you remember how it works?
Oh, yes. Energy
Oh.
enhancer.
Okay.
The tan, I can't remember if the tan, maybe someone can jump on and share. I know that tan on left and white on right, and then tan in the front and white in the back. And then on the top, it's Eon glutathione. But some people even put X39 on the top.
Yeah. So that's actually the hat protocol is you just take a baseball cap and you work it that way.
Yes.
And
And you
they're
can
actually
find that on liveyoungerproducts.com. So if you want to look that up.
right. Thank you. I have
Okay.
it in my notes here, which I'm trying to refer to. It's like there's a
Yes.
lot of information. Yeah.
Okay.
Hopefully that works. And let us know too, please, how
Yes.
it's really, really good for us all to have the feedback because with every single one of you, we're learning.
Let's take a couple more. How about that? We'll
Okay.
do two
Yeah.
more because there's a lot more questions. And thank you everyone for your great questions. I'm sorry we won't be able to get to them all. So Paulette asks, what patches would you recommend for a 7-year-old whose head is tilted to one side because of a certain condition?
Yeah. I would still do the X39. I know that condition. I went to school with a girl who had that. Yeah, since we're not medical doctors, we're not going to speak about what other people have done with it. So notwithstanding an official diagnosis by the medical doctors for it, is there a craniosacral therapist? And is there, right, you're a healer, and is there a really good holistic doctor of osteopathy who does manipulative medicine 100%?
Beautiful. Yes.
So that's where I would start because we're looking at a shift of the structure and with it, a lot of compensation.
Yes.
Because that head is really to the left or to the right. That head is shifted. So then everything on the upper back going down into the pelvis is also shifted. Because you have the spine, you got the back of the neck, you got the bottom of the hip, of the spine, you got the two sides of the hips, you got the knees, and then you have the ankles. And if
Mhm.
everything shifts, there is other stuff that's going on with that.
Yes.
So yeah, try X39 because that to me is the basis. If it's a cellular replenishment, if it is some kind of deficiency, I would start there and see what the body does with it.
Mhm, mhm. And you mentioned osteopath, so that would be a DO, right?
It's a doctor of
do
osteopathy
manipulation.
who does manipulation,
manipulation.
100%. So yeah,
Right,
you will
right.
really look around.
Beautiful. Okay, let's do one more. This is R. Zambito says, my question is, I hit my forehead really bad and got a concussion. I have had headaches for over a week. I have 6 patches on me now, but not sure if I'm putting them in the right place.
What do you have on?
Yes,
Okay.
what patches, right?
Yeah.
What would you recommend for a
Well,
hitting the head?
Yeah, I think definitely. First of all, you're okay. Only 1 week, give it time, right? So Aeon, definitely. Ice Wave, definitely. You might want to move the X39 to your belly button and move the Aeon to C7. And yeah, use the Ice Wave. I'm sorry, the question was, where did he hit his head?
Let's see, hit my forehead and got a concussion. So a frontal.
All right, so a nosedive or something.
Yes.
Yeah, that's no fun. Okay, I'm not laughing at you, please. I just had something like this myself last year. Definitely Ice Wave on either side and or Ice Wave 10 on the back, on the front, okay? And the white on the back. Or on either side again. Let's see,
And this person says he or she is using the HAT protocol. So that's
good.
That's good.
Yeah, the HAT protocol we use very often for neurological issues. The concussion is something physical, right? You have an actual, something knocked you out, and that takes a little while to heal. So you could also.
I should use the Ice Wave instead of the energy patches.
The energy enhancer is microcirculation, which might work. However, the Ice Wave looks at the pain as well. So if you're in pain, the energy enhancer could come next, not while you're in pain. It's not really necessary. And if you want to use those, I would use them on the bottom of your feet. But remember that you're funny. It's like, I want to do this.
I know, sideways, sideways picture.
What you can, and that's all right. What you can do, I would imagine you're in pain, having your head that way. Sorry.
Should I put the Ice Waves on the temples? I mean,
you can, but since you hit your forehead, I would also suggest maybe you could put the tan right here and the white on the back, or the tan here and the white a little further up, right? Using the 36912, the clock protocol. And what you could also do actually is, where's the piece of your pain? Where is it most? Point to it.
I hit my head right here above the.
Right there. So not the nose, but on the forehead.
On the forehead, but my cheekbones hurt, my forehead hurts.
Yeah, it's a big thing. You could put, if your cheekbones hurt, you could also put X39, Ice Wave on either side further down. Yeah. Yeah, and the Aeon here. Keep the X39 in the back.
Back of the head?
Yeah.
Okay.
So play with that, see that, and the energy enhancer on the soles of your feet. How's that?
So don't use the glutathione either?
We're not looking at a detox your body has enough antioxidants as it needs. This is a localized healing piece. What we want to avoid is that, and eventually you should probably see a chiropractor or a DO like I just described, because that is affecting the whole spine and it goes back there. Or a craniosacral therapist.
Yes.
Somebody who actually works with your cerebrospinal fluid.
Okay.
You got a little rattled there, my friend.
We'll get you right side up.
Good luck.
All right.
All right. Thank you so much, Dr. Henriette. We are 52 minutes after the hour, and I think we're going to wrap it up. What a wonderful call. Thank you so much for your time, your love, your care,
You're
and
welcome.
looking at this so holistically, just like David. So
Yeah.
thank you all for being here tonight, and we'll see you again next Tuesday. And that will be Sunshower hosting next week. So thank you again, Dr. Henriette.
You're welcome. It was an absolute
Thank you,
pleasure
Jen.
working with you, Michelle.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Thank you all. Have a great night.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It was
Thank
wonderful.
you.
Thanks so much.
Dr. Henriette.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, Dr. Henrietta.
Thank you,
you.
Dr. Henrietta,
Thank
for
you.
answering our questions.
Thank you.
See you soon.
Thank
Thanks
you.
so much.
Wonderful
Thank you
call.
both.
Thank
It
you.
was wonderful, wonderful call.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Big. Very good. Thanks. Much love. Keep patching, everybody.
Yeah.
Yes.
Bye. Good night.
Good night.